welcome to a very special event here today. In Nagoya, Japan, a district located in the middle of Tokyo and Osaka. Total market of people is around 40 million in this place. And today, we head to this great Japanese prefecture to race at the Nagoya Motor Park Oval. Today, it'll be a very special stream, and joining me in the booth today is Gus Goose and Royal. So, Nagoya, of course, a very well-known event in this sport. Gus, you can give your thoughts on it now.
Very important event. It's one of the Triple Crown events, one of the three events that all drivers in this league want to win at some point. For the first time, it's joining its own off-season league, but there are still special guest entries. A few full-time drivers did not make it in qualifying, and that is a big deal for them because there are double points on offer here today.
Yep, and certainly, because as of this moment, it is the penultimate round. You head to round 6 in some short time. But Nagoya today, important things to note, folks, it is a double points race. So if you want to perform somewhere on the calendar in FRL Nascar, it is certainly going to be today. However, this race has not always been anywhere in the points. In fact, it's been held as a relatively fun race and as a non-championship event. So we will look towards the past and we will see the Nagoya highlights presented by FRL Nascar.
Unlucky sucks.
And look into the previous race winners of this very special race. We had started off about 3 years ago on July or June 2022. It was won by Sebastian Coteau, the first inaugural Nagoya 125. Then it was followed up by 2 Carson wins in the second and third running. In the fourth running, it was a very exciting photo finish between Hazard and Hyperboss, which was a very cool event. However, it was only 120 laps, which is a fun fact for that race. Then in the fifth running, it was won by Royal, and sixth was Zero Denial. The last time winner was the host of the race and the founder of the race, It's Code Bakers, who finally brought it home to his trophy cabinet after a long time of trying. So that is a very cool insight into what this race has been over the last couple of years, and finally, it's now getting support that it needs to. Gus,
Something you might
in
notice,
your
the
opinion,
front row is not on that list.
Yeah, the front row is not on that list. So I believe, in my opinion, we can find a new Nagoya winner today. However, in this championship battle that's heating up in midst of the season, let's see the FRL standings, or the FRL Nascar standings, sorry. So, Hyperboss leads the points with 117, almost 30 clear of the other 2 drivers, Smykos and Manpifting. And that's really interesting to see, because Hyperboss, I think, is a favorite to win here today. He starts pole, and Manpifting starts 4th, and Smykos is going to start 14th, which is not a good qualifying result for him. However, in Nagoya, qualifying rarely matters, so I hope Smykos can make his way back up to the field.
And Pifting, one of the most seasoned drivers in FRL history, has never won the Nagoya 125, so he's definitely going to be looking to rectify that today. In the championship chase, quite distant, 32 points back, but with the double points today, a good result can secure him the lead of this championship with only one round to go after this.
However, it can easily swing the other way to Hyperboss, who can seal the FRL NASCAR Season 1 Cup today, and certainly, I think he can very well achieve that. However, this race has notoriously been very strategic dependent, and it is probably one of the few races on the entire FRL calendar which has a variety of strategies, and it's really shown throughout the races that we've seen over the past. So we should now head towards the top 3 in this championship. Hyperboss, looking very promising today, starts on pole as I mentioned earlier, and leading the charge for Funny Group Racing, has always been a top driver in this series so far. He's won 2 rounds already. Can he make it a third today in the most prestigious race on the calendar?
Smykov's definitely a driver who has shown great ability on an oval, won on the oval in Buenos Aires Endurance Challenge a few months ago. This season occasionally has some calamities befall him, either in strategy, hit the wall in a race when he lost control of his car. So I would say definitely his position in the standings betrays what I think he's capable of on an oval, but he does have some fierce competition up ahead to try to close down his championship gap.
Yep. And last but not least, technically not really last, but Man Pifting, your driver in for your team, has had 2 runner-up finishes so far this season, and last one was a gut-wrenching one in Indianapolis. I would like to remind you of that, but honestly, I think if he can win somewhere today, it's going to be here. And Pifting has been improving throughout the season so far. He had a very shocking first round, which I think is the only reason he's sort of a bit lagging in this championship battle, but he can certainly claw back some points today.
2 races in a row overtaken from the lead by a Funny Group Racing car on the final lap for Arcade Racing, the rookie team debuting this season. So definitely we'll see if that changes. This time the Funny Group Racing car is right in front of him. So we'll see if that can change. He definitely has the speed and the pace, but on those last laps, the other drivers just once they get in that slipstream on the last lap, there's very little you can do. But there's a long way to go from the first lap to the last lap here today in Nagoya.
And we should not forget last race's winner going to be Chris. I'm not sure if he's going to race today. It's a bit on the maybe side, but he showed really great skill out there last time out in this series, and I hope he races today because he needs to show support for his team. Funny Group Racing, although yes, they have been outright favorites so far this season, this race wouldn't really matter to them because it's supposed to be a one-car qualifying, one team car qualifying, if that makes sense. Basically, every driver is for themselves, and of course, the team friendships can help you win through strategy in this race, but it's an optional thing to do in this one.
We often see very cheeky things from Funny Group Racing in terms of team strategy. They've definitely been the team, from my mind, in FRL recently who does it the most. Sometimes even going a lap down to give a slipstream to a teammate when they're not necessarily in the race. They have their main team, Funny Group Racing. They also have a second team in white, their junior team, as it were, to play with. So we're definitely going to see how that works. It's all going to be about the tires here today at Nagoya.
Yep, speaking of the tires, we can now move on to the discussion of tire strategy. Now for this race, in its first couple of runnings, it was run under the rain, where you had to use slick tires, and that was really interesting, but now it can be run in clear daytime. And for this race, we have had some rules. First rule is that soft tires must be used twice in this race. So if you only use once, then it's not enough. Mediums and hards are also mandatory. So if you do the math, 2 soft tires at least, 1 mediums and 1 hards, it's going to be at least a 3-stop race, but probably a 4-stop, in my opinion. Some teams are considering to run, as the soft tires just won't last enough to really make an impact in this race. The hard tires are going to be very difficult to run. We saw that last time out when we raced here. And the medium tires is just the perfect balance. Everyone will try to extend their medium runs today. As you can see, the tire lives in each, there is about a 10-lap difference or 10-lap interval in terms of the tires. So now, let's have a little discussion about just the favorites and just your predictions for this race. I would say that I think Hyperboss has a really good chance of winning today. He has come gut-wrenchingly close in this race. However, I think now is the time that he shines finally in Nagoya. Gus, who do you think is going to be the favorite to win this race?
My prediction is that Hyperboss will not win the race, but will win the championship. It's been that close at the front, so it's been consistency that's brought on this far.
Yep. So the race is closing in. We are about 5 minutes away almost. Everyone is doing it, doing their practice, sorry. So let's give you a little grid rundown, shall we? Very special graphics in for today. So, as you'll see, cycle through it from the 10th row back. We're going from back to front. So, starting, well, not really starting, he did he didn't really qualify for this race. He was sort of bumped out of it. But Among Us Sussy Imposter is going to start from last with the grid probably. And that's really interesting for him. And then we have the 19th place car of Charles Leclerc Best in the Scuderia Gruppo Divertente. Moving on to the next row now, we have Crazy Jr. and Bad Duck That, both drivers trying to really try to get ahead of their teammates in this season. Bad Duck That, of course, my teammate of Van Pifting, has been outshined so far. Crazy Jr. is trying to lead for the Scuderia Gruppo team. Heading to the next row now, we have the OCE. I'm not sure how to call him here, but I'll just call him Six Thug because that's his Roblox username or the initials of it. He starts on 15th. A self-driver today. He's using the stock Nagoya livery. He's joined by Estenba in 16th for Stella Corsa. Estenba may or may not be racing today. In 13th and 14th spot, or the 7th row, we have Royal, who's, well, not racing today because he's in the booth, but he did qualify 13th in qualifying, so props to him. Joining him is the championship battler, Smykos, in the Manta Hendrick in the 95 car. Heading to the next row now. For the 6th row, it's Hamza Legend for Lazado's Essential RT. Lowest of the Lazados today. He's joined by lowest of the Funny Group Racing cars today, Lepri, who may not be starting the race. Heading to the next row, we have 16 Rise in the Stella Corsa outfit, and it's Code Bacon's.
Alright guys, Tash I think died, so for the 4th row we have Geo in 8th place and XR in 7th place. A note here is that Geo is fighting for the Triple Crown today, so if he manages to win today, he will be the 3rd Triple Crown winner of FRL. But now moving on, we have on the 3rd row we have Going Me Chris on 5th place and Tax on 6th place, running on the Lesados Essential RT team. And now the final 2 rows, we have Man 15 in 4th place, joined by crisscross oh my god, OMG, which I'm not sure if he's racing. I believe he's not, but anyways. And on the final, on the first row, we have T-Jerk, who will not be attending today, and on the pole position, as Taz said earlier, we will have Hyperboss on the pole position. So that will be it for the pre-race show. Goose, if you can carry on for now, it will be helpful for me.
Tight championship fight as always, but also as always, it's Hyperboss out in front, where he always seems to be in this league. He's really found his stride on the ovals, looked all but the driver in charge of this championship from the very beginning. Must be said, as has his team, Funny Group Racing. One of the surprises from mid-FRL last season, has continued the momentum and is now smack dab in front. But the very competitive oval is Nagoya 125. This is the only stop on this off-season Oval NASCAR League, which takes place in the more iconic fictional tracks of Formula ROBLOX, back at the Nagoya Speedway, whose road course always seems to bring fantastic races, and the oval, its cousin, is no different. We have a packed grandstand of invisible fans here today, ready to watch the heroes battle in the provinces of Japan, and we're here for an absolute show-stopping thriller. I know it for absolute sure. Our drivers are finishing up their practicing laps now, before they will form up manually according to qualifying order. A unique thing about this race, they will form up manually, similar to how they do it with a red flag in FRL, and then the officials will make the call and the race shall begin. Currently operating on a video as broadcast, so let me see if I can get a visual on the track.
It's also a really throwback to the beginnings of FRL, which was plagued by a starting lights glitch, where some cars were stuck on the grid very early, like season 1 or so. So yeah, they did manual starts back then as well. So coincidentally, we're going back to those starts today, and as well as the great 8th running of the Nagoya 125 will soon begin, as at the moment some very odd practice times. Sussy Imposter is leading the charts at the moment, despite not being able to even get in the top 19 in the qualifying sessions that were held earlier this week. And now the code has been sent. We are about to start, and get ready for what should be an awesome race in the next hour or so, in the next 125 laps. Everyone else finishes. So, some key facts about this race. The fastest lap is quite impressive to get and very prestigious. So, it is very interesting for that. So, we'll always have an eye on the fastest lap, as well as, of course, the race win and all not. But that is really decided almost early in the race. We have a lot of packs formed in this race because of strategy and whatnot. So as the drivers get ready to line up, the moment we have a 30-second intermission, I hope everyone joins fast. So let's see what tires these drivers start on. I'm going to be Chris humorously going on the wet tires for now. Of course, he will change that, so does Man 50. Quite the humor on today, boys. So the race lights will light up, but it doesn't mean anything for now. I hope everyone has gotten that message, and no one tries to outsmart the room by trying to race on a formation lap, essentially.
if there's one thing these cars are not brilliant at, it's probably reversing. I can speak from experience.
Yeah.
They reverse like a dog on a rug. So the drivers will shuffle into position, hold on their marks, put their tire. I'm not sure what the standard is. I believe it's on the yellow line painted driver's right-hand side of each grid box, and then await the call from the officials. So it will be definitely a race of reflexes on the start of this one.
And now I believe everyone's almost lined up. We just have some cars yet to do so. The ready call will be made soon, and we can finally get underway for this great race. The race for the people, as drivers had voted for this track all the way back in 2022. Very exciting track, finally showing its colors and finally getting the support behind it. And we have had a problem here. Maybe one driver is missing, and it looks like it's Hamza.
Drama already, and the race has not even begun. The Lozado's racing driver is currently unaccounted for on the grid. We're hearing his laptop has had a battery malfunction.
What a time to have it.
A hybrid unit problem, as it were.
Yep. Those goddamn hybrids. That's why we're using I don't know what we're using these FL cars. I'm guessing it's vegetative oil, by the sound of it.
Vegetable oil and epic duck extract.
Oh yeah, I definitely knew that.
Go for all the old Roblox fans in the audience, all two of you.
So now the driver is finally trying to get this race underway. There will be a bit of a technical difficulty, you can say, as Sven asks if he's in the correct spot. I believe we are ready as well. It has been a long time coming, but finally this race is on a championship calendar. That too, it is double points. A quick driver's briefing going on, I guess, as Bacon says something. Royal will get to do the honors of presenting Countdown. I hope everyone is ready and no one gets stuck on the grid. The ready call is made. A flurry of R's come in, but Bacon's says not ready yet. And Charles Leclerc says not ready yet. You have a slight delay, but it's okay, folks. We have 125 laps remaining in this race. We'll certainly get a lot of action today, so just be patient.
Okay, I have a visual on the race. My spectating mode appears to be quite problematic, so I might be coming and going every now and then, but I do have visual on the grid.
How's it down there? Wherever you are on the track.
Floating ominously on the left-hand side of the track. I'm on the left-hand side of the, I think, second to last row, so it's Leclerc Best and Beduct that next to each other. Two drivers both running the number 8 right next to each other, so it is the battle of the superior 8s. Beduct that in the arcade racing, and Charles Leclerc Best in the Scuderia Gruppo Divertente, if I can butcher that. The atmosphere is electric, as all the drivers who are ready are sitting there in silence, awaiting the call.
Well, we still have a bit of a party pooper today. Charles Leclerc has yet to say if he's ready or not. I'm not sure how long it will take. Still being a very inconvenient issue. Well, as convenient an issue can be. So I think we will start off without Charles Leclerc. Well, Charles Leclerc Best, not Charles Leclerc, the F1 driver. As now, I think we can go racing. The countdown is about to begin. Another story unfolds in this race, as it is go, go, go in Nagoya. We are off. Hyperboss takes the lead as Man Pifting also gets a good start. This is the one time where drivers can have to actually react to the starting time, and it seems like everyone is off. Going with Chris and Gio follow pursuit as Funny Group Racing cars. They're trying to get to their front pack as there's already a bit of a grift forming. They head down to turns 3 and turn 4. It's almost about to be a Funny Group Racing 1-2, but it's disrupted by Tax and Man Pifting. They head down to start lap 2. Hyperboss will lead the first lap. As
Absolutely apocalyptic start
go.
for Smykos. He's lost so many positions on that race start.
That's not good for his championship, but he is still in the midst of it. He's P10 at the moment, almost hit the wall right there. That's not much to do. That's not what you want to do on this start, as you need all the help you can get with the slipstream. Everyone's almost on soft tires. There are just 3 medium runners, and it's all Rogue compared to their teammates. Actually 4, sorry. We have 6 Tug, XR, Man Pifting, and Going with Chris on the mediums. They will have a slight disadvantage on this first stint. However, it is very soon that these soft tires will pit, as the top 3 are soft runners, as it is a 1-2 at the moment for Funny Group Racing with Gio and Hyper.
Leclerc Best has got going, but is currently 2.3 seconds off the tail end of the field.
Very unfortunate for him, as at the moment there is not really a pack forming, surprisingly, so far. It has only been 3 laps, but I expected to be a bit more spread out than this. Let's see, heading down to turns 1 and 2, if anything can change. 16 Rise is making up through the field. He's 4th now. I believe he started 9th.
Man Pifting is falling backwards. He was in the slipstream, but now he's falling backwards from the leading pack as 16 Rise and Tax are cutting through the field, trying to make it back to the front. Tax seeking a best ever result for this team, Lozada's Essential Racing team, operating from Brazil.
And Going with Chris is the last running Funny Group Racing car. He is in that mid pack, almost trying to fight to get to the top. But at the moment, it's a foursome for the lead, as a certain commentator might say from the past. Bacon's, the defending Nagoya champion, trying to enter the fray, as we have 5 laps run in this event so far.
Absolutely faultless start from Hyperboss. Commanded this race right from the start. Started on pole and still leads despite all the challengers piling onto him. None of them seem to have an answer for him right now in that Funny Group Racing number 18 machine.
Fastest lap held by Sussy Imposter, who, well, technically wasn't supposed to make the grid today, but he has to count his blessings whenever he can, because he has the fastest lap. He's in 12th place at the moment, trying to make up some ground after starting from the very back. There are a lot of cars going backwards that I can see, and a lot of cars going forwards. It's turning out to be what some would say the cream rising to the top.
Definitely the biggest story from that. Man Pifting and Smykos both fell backwards on that start, now running 7th and 8th. Man Pifting actually coming off worse of the pair as it stands now. They're all still well under half a second from the car in front, and only a second, not even, from the leader. So they still have the chance to crawl this back. But definitely the number 7 and the number 95 struggling on that race start.
Let's go on board with Hyperboss, and you can see some details about him and the cool graphics that we've put up. Hyperboss has never won in FRL, the actual series. However, he's already won 2 in this one, in rounds 2 and rounds 3. That was Gateway and Richmond. His best finish of second place had come all the way back in season 7, and then he had gone on a bit of a gardening leave, as you would say. It was a quite long hiatus. It was banned and now unbanned from the league, and now he has been flourishing in this new series.
Had a strong kind of late stint for Funny Group Racing on their Division 1 late season debut last time. Had some incidents that prevented any real results. They were running, I believe, in 5th place in New Jersey when he went into the wall, I believe, and he's gone backwards a bit. He's now slid down to 7th place.
How has he done that? That's insane. He's lost 7 spots in about a matter of seconds. He's on the way back to 16 rides. Rubbed the wall pretty hard as a lot of drivers come in already, and a lot of drivers stay out. Lap 10 is already reached, folks. We have the first pit stops incoming now.
Looks like the leading driver on pit lane is Gio in that number 23 machine. Let's see how they fare. All the drivers are coming off the soft tire now, releasing all the drivers not on the soft tire out in front. Let's see how they hit their marks, approaching their invisible pit crew. 16 Rise is the first to hit their marks. Gio, great stop from both those drivers. Looks like it's as they were when they entered, but 16 Rise right on the back of Smykos coming out of the pits. It will be a medium tire for all three, so they still have to run the soft tire one more time in this race, as Tax, who was running in 2nd place briefly, also comes in the pit lane. For Lozato's, the number 30 pit crew awaits their driver, trying to possibly do some sort of overcut, running 1 extra lap on that soft tire. Let's see what their plan is to do. Coming off, it's a good stop. It's mediums. They come right out as they were. Tax, Lamborghini, and Nagoya all come out of the pit lane, all in the medium. So once again, they have to run the soft tire one more time in this race.
Yep, a lot of drivers deciding not to immediately get rid of the soft tire issue right now. Maybe they can use that soft tire in the later parts of this race, perhaps even at the end of it, to gain the best advantage. So let's see how this race runs out at the moment. Lap 13.
We have a few soft runners that are staying out. That's Bacon's Hyperboss, Sussy Imposter, and Amogus Sussy Imposter. I do not believe they are brothers or cousins or related in any way, but they do share the similar namesake. And the leading of the two in the number 5 comes into pit lane, followed by the other one in the Laguar, number 28. So it's going to be Codes, Bacons, and Hyperboss who are staying out on that soft tire. When I watch the Funny Group Racing cars, I notice this all season. They love to run right up against the wall. It's one of their favorite sort of methods, and it often costs them when things don't quite go well. But it is also the reason they probably have been so dominant this season. Looks like we have some inter-team strategies. We have the number 8 of Charles Leclerc Best in the wall. I think he's deliberately going slowly to give slipstream to his sister team. He's going backwards now.
Charles Leclerc Best, very flashy driver. I'm not sure if this is a good thing to do. Maybe this is not exactly a race strategy. Perhaps the one thing he wanted to do the most, as he's still slow on the track, somewhat being a nuisance, but thankfully these cars do not collide.
The officials do take a dim view of this sort of thing.
Bacons and Hyper both pit. They're going to go with each other on the same lap, and this is her long run soft tire. They have run 15 laps, or 16 laps on this. 5 whole laps, pretty much half a stint more than the other soft runners, so let's see how that runs for them. Bad Doug, that also pits.
For now,
and they go on softs. Yep. They go on the softs again.
A little long in his box.
And that has cost him some time. He was right there up with Bacon's, possibly slipstreaming him, but now the gap is almost too much for slipstream. They rejoin in around, let's see, I think they rejoined in a pretty good spot. They have been undercut somewhat, but they can certainly make that gap up with those soft tires.
The officials, I believe, took a dim view of Charles Leclerc Best's driving standards, and he's now out of this race. So that is our first retirement of this race, is the number 8 Scuderia Gruppo Divertente car. So in the battle to be the superior car number 8, it looks like Baduktat is already winning 1 position ahead and on the medium tire. Hyperboss was a little long in his box, but doesn't seem to have really suffered for it that much. I'm trying to see who the top 4 drivers have yet to stop. Everyone else has stopped at least once in this race.
And Hyperboss sets the new fastest lap. So far, he's looking for a Grand Slam almost. Caught the pole, has the fastest lap at the moment, and maybe he could win this race. However, he has fallen a bit back, but I believe he can certainly make that time up, as the top 7 are now on mediums.
Grand Slam, or Grand Chelem if you want to use that sort of term. And as they always said, the problem with the French is they have no word for entrepreneur. But they do have a word for a great race like this, and it's Grand Prix, and that's what we have on our hands right now. Going Me Chris, currently leading out in front.
And I just saw Hyper take a huge bump. He's now way far behind someone like Bacons, who he's supposed to race with. Now he's racing with Tax, I believe. Who, although, actually, no, he's not racing with Tax. Who's racing with, actually? I think it's a lap car. So, not looking good so far for Hyper. Let's see what he can do, trying to get back in this fight. As Man Pifting is fighting with Going with Chris for the race lead.
The pit stops definitely shuffled everyone up at the back of the people who pitted. Now Geo lead, but for the actual lead out in front, Man Pifting trying to get the slipstream on Going Me Chris 2. The number 7 chasing the number 82. They're going down straight into the first corner. Can he get him there? He's running low. They're side by side. Nothing between them. Oh, but he just can't quite get all the way alongside.
Oh, Chris in the wall, I think. Or Belly avoided it. Actually, no, he didn't avoid it. Man Pifting goes through as XR and Going Me Chris. That was a really risky late pit entry from Going Me Chris. Almost at the wall right there.
Yep, it was right rear on the wall as Man Pifting laps his.
Maybe he got a tire down. That's a bit of role play right there. Going to be Chris, but at the moment he is going to pit again. Let's see. He's definitely going to go on the soft tires. Oh, what? Actually, no, he did. He did go on the soft tires. That's my bad. I thought he would go for a long run car. Let's see XR what tire he chooses. They all go on the softs, or they both go on the softs, I should say. Perhaps a pre-plan from these non-teammate drivers.
Sounds like most of the teams want to get the required double soft stint out of the way so they can
Man
start
Pifting also comes in.
playing with a more flexible tire. Is that the first medium runner to pit?
I believe
No, I
so.
think
That's a
it's
really
one
short.
of the last.
No, I think Man Pifting, he's been on the mediums from the start. So
Correct.
this
yes.
is actually his first off.
Arcade Racing receives their team, the number 7 crew. Looks like a good stop. Hit his marks. We'll see where he comes out relative to the other drivers, particularly Going Me Chris. Comes out behind Going Me Chris. And Going Me Chris is currently, he is on the soft tire, as is Man Pifting, who uses the grass to get right back on track. So Going Me Chris with the advantage right now. Them trying to get their soft tire stints out of the way so they can play with a more flexible tire strategy later on. The mediums and the hards, you only have to run them both once, and one medium and one hard is definitely not
Oh, XR fastest lap. He got all 3 colors on his sector timings: purple, red, and green. As Bacon's has led his first lap today, he will lead another one. As we will have the first ever FRL commercial break coming up soon, and I hope you enjoy it. It took a lot of time for us to work on it. We'll be right back shortly in a bit.
This season, Man Pifting knows that nothing is more painful than losing. Not being able to lead the last lap at Indianapolis, despite leading the majority of the last stint. Not being able to find alternative accounts in FRL despite doxing people and using Discord bots. Losing is more painful than obsessing over a Lego racing game and then DNFing from 14th on soft tires. Man Pifting knows that if losing didn't hurt so much, winning wouldn't feel so good.
Correct. Ben Likes is also making his Division 1 debut. He's finally returned
He's back. It's alright.
Ben likes Thomas, rejoin.
He's back.
What happened to Ben? What happened to Ben? He stopped on the straight.
I am the one and only Ben Like Thomas, the man who was responsible for deleting the server.
Wait, why is Ben likes Thomas?
Ben.
Ben was like Thomas.
Ben likes Thomas.
Ben like Thomas.
Ben likes Thomas. That's purple.
What's up, guys? I spent all the money for the commercial on these new teeth. So once again, I had to shoot it on the iPhone, but stream the new Second Speedsters Records album.
Welcome back to the broadcast. After our first ever commercial break, we at FRL continue to make bounds and cross boundaries. As now lap 30 begins, and if you were on the hard tires, you would start pitting now. But since no one ran the hard tires in the earlier part of the race or started on them, there are none at the moment. However, there will probably be a lot of drivers going to pit. I believe under commercial, everyone has done their first stops now. The medium runners have come in, as well as some two-stoppers already: Smykos, Gio, Lepri, and Annoy.
We have now drivers going on their second stops, still on the soft tire. I don't believe they started on that tire, or maybe they're doing a 1-2-1 strategy on the tire. Thank you for your patience. We apologize for any generative content we have seen in that commercial, as Hyperboss and Tax now come in to change off of the medium tire, the 18 and the 30 on pit lane. Good stop for Tax right on his marks, releases and goes onto the hard tire. So we have our first driver in contention to fit the hard tire in this race. We're approximating about 30 laps on that tire, so we'll see if he can make up any progress.
Tax, the first one to bite. I hope he lasts and at least get some good laps in that. He has to hope for it, because those are dreadful to run on. However, they do last the longest. It's Code Bacon's and 16 Rise coming. I believe they both went on the hards as well. It's a clear intent on now what tires to run. Everyone has sort of chosen the hard tires. I guess it's better to do that and work as a team or as a group, so that they can continue to be in the pack and have relatively no advantages or disadvantages that plague their races.
Men Pifting and Going Me Chris, as they found, that was a fun voice crack, as they found last stint, they're now stuck together waiting to settle this on lane, because they're on an eternal stalemate, both of them running the soft tires out in front, but will probably owe the field a pit stop relatively soon, probably later than most, because they did not start on the soft tire. We have quite a few hard runners now. Both Lozados are on the hard. XR3 and TAC 16 Rise overtakes Badukdat on the hard tire. And Code Bacon's currently leading the drivers on the hard tire. But everyone will need to run that tire at some point. So while they'll be suffering now, everyone else might have to suffer later. And nothing matters until you reach the checkered flag, as Lamborghini 123, aka Standby, I believe, pit for number 59,
XR
also onto the hard tire.
XR also on the hard tire a lap earlier. We sort of missed his stop, but he is, I believe, at least a top 5 runner so far in this race. Of course, the strategy has put a wrench in the measuring of who is where exactly in this field. However, we can infer that I would say Gio will inherit the net lead in a bit, as Man Pifting and Going Me Chris will probably pit very soon, as their soft stint is about to come to an end. Same with Cecil Foster.
The door of doom tolls for another retirement in this race. It's another Scuderia, excuse me. It's another Scuderia Gruppo Direttante car. Nagoya, if I'm saying that correctly, has come into the pits and hopped out of his car, metaphorically. He appears to have given up on the race because he was not making up any ground in that machine. Now, Lepre, the only driver from that team still running this race, currently running 12th, and has stopped twice. Going me Chris, now pits, man Pifting stays out. As we see Man Pifting now overcuts, comes in, awaits the number 7 Arcade Racing crew. They are invisible, but they are there to change off these tires from the soft. This will be a different tire because... No, he still needs to run the soft one more time. Excuse me. Smykos comes in behind, and it is the hard tire. So I think at this point he has run each of the tires once. The only requirement left for him to fulfill is one more tire on the soft, and from there it's whatever it takes to reach the end. And trust me, when that time comes, strategy will become very interesting indeed in this race.
Smykos has the first stop as well. The first pit box, sorry, or the last pit box, I should say. Usually given to the pole winner in most oval leagues or oval series. He heads out on the medium tires. He's trying to gain back some points in this champion.
The number 23 now into the pits, the Funny Group Racing car of Gio, and the other Arcade Racing car, Badukdat, comes in behind the number 8 crew. This is Gio's third stop. They go onto the mediums. They are one of 2 drivers to have made 3 stops in this race right now, the other one being Smykos. Badukdat will switch onto the hard tire. They are fulfilling that requirement as well. Come out last of the runners, and one of 2 cars to be a lap down. But because of all the retirements, not too far away from the points in this race. So there's still a lot to play for, and remember, double points today.
Let's go on board with one of the championship battlers, and Pifting in a bit of clear air at the moment. Just only has going to be Chris ahead of him. He is a favorite to win today. He has been leading a lot of laps today. However, still yet to be a win in this series. Not really known to be an oval guy. His strides come in road course racing, as they would say in America. And at the moment, you can see how bad those hard tires feel. They were flying through the corners in the softs and mediums. The hard tires, it looks like they're racing on a front-wheel drive, some you-know-what box. So they're still struggling to get on grips with these hard tires, as you can clearly see by them driving around this place.
Those of a certain vintage like myself will know of those old ROBLOX Battle Fort games, and the tanks in those games is probably akin to what these drivers are experiencing right now on these hard tires. In the first race, Bacon described them as, quote, absolutely useless, but they are required to run today, and they do last a long time, because even if they're useless, they are consistently useless. Or at least consistently grippy throughout the whole stint.
Yeah, now Bacon's, of course he is the host, but if it was probably anyone else who said that, maybe if you were actual NASCAR, we would have fined them somehow, one way or the other. But we don't do that here, because it's for fun. And remember, always have... Anyway, the top 3 are battling at the moment. Bacon's XR and 16 Rise. Looks like someone's trying to follow in pursuit. It's going to be Chris. Hammerboss actually leading right now. Sorry. That's a threesome for P2, as they would say.
We're getting at that point where all the different pit stop strategies are starting to kind of intersect, and the true position of everybody is kind of a big unknown right now. So who's actually in control of this race, it's hard to say. I will say on kind of strategy, it seems like on one strategy, it's the people who have stopped 3 times. It's definitely Smykos and Gio in control. Hyperboss running the medium out in front. Stopped twice. I believe he has... I don't recall if he needs to stop on the soft tire one more time. I really should have written this all down. Goes to show the action's too fun. I can't take my eyes away from the screen.
Yep, and the hard tires now, you can see the sort of racing they're putting on. It's pretty entertaining. It feels like when NASCAR before the next gen car, you used to drive it on road courses, and of course the car isn't meant for road courses, so it looks very awkward, very weird, a very doggy way to drive around the track, and I feel like I'm seeing that right now with these FRL cars running around Nagoya on these very grooved hard tires. It almost feels like. Has 6 cars, or I think, in a pack at the moment.
So when you're on this hard tire and you find yourself in this tire that is less than ideal and you have to run it, everyone has to run it at least once. You know this, and you know all the other drivers know this. Some kind of Nash equilibrium scenario, but not quite like that. You have to then ask yourself, how long am I going to run on this hard tire? Do I try to hit that exact stint number, get off of them as soon as I can, and get back on the tires I enjoy? Or think, okay, everyone has to run this hard tire. Do I run a bit long because they are quite consistent, and give myself more flexibility to do less stops later on? And like all racing, that's ultimately the big call, is do I stay out and not lose time in the pits, or do I pit a lot and just absolutely blast through my tires? Relatively short pit lane here, but the track itself is also quite short, and getting a pit stop wrong is a big loss. You can even go an entire lap down if you don't play the strategy correctly.
And speaking of the strategy stuff, so far only three stops have happened in this race, and it's Maikos and Gio. The disadvantage with only having 2 people on the same strategy, sort of, with 3 stops, is that you're only going to have 1 car to slipstream from. And I think we've sort of seen the disadvantage play out so far. I'm not sure if Maikos and Gio had another person in this strategy, as Lepre will soon join them on 3 stop. But yeah, I'm not sure if this strategy is working so far now. Hopefully they can get on the right tires later on and get back in this field, because at the moment I don't believe they're doing much.
It's all about playing that long game. What seems like a disadvantage now often plays out to be an advantage later. I think back to the Bond race in Season 9 in FRL Division 1, where it was unclear who was in charge. Manpifting was soon to be overtaken by his rival, Royal, and a surprise last pit stop suddenly turned the Hunthead into the Hunter in that scenario. So,
and
what happens now is important, but it's all about...
Yeah.
Who's in charge at the end of this race, because no points are given out until the checkered flag waves.
And look at this pack racing. We're finally seeing some pack racing at Nagoya so far in this race. It's the first time we're really seeing it, as everyone has sort of conformed into the same sort of tire at the right point of the race, and you can see this racing is quite good to see. Finally we get some pack racing back, as Manpifting leads the charge for this 5-car train we're seeing so far.
As we ride on board with the number 7 of Manpifting, you see in the bottom right-hand screen a small Galaga space bug that is actually that car's spotter.
Oh, from the car?
Yes. Right
That's
to the right
crazy.
of the steering wheel.
Throwback to IndyCar, actually, when in the Indy 500, very prehistoric Indy 500, there used to be 2 drivers on the car, because at the time only cars with 2 seats, or at least two intended people to ride it, were there. One was a mechanic, one was a driver, and the mechanic also served as a spotter, as they didn't have mirrors back then. So cool. I would say coincidental, maybe throwback to that.
Possibly, although I believe in IndyCar they were not intergalactic space bugs.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Stopper.
Oh, Smikos, bites the dust.
Coming off
And that will be interesting. He's the only one to do so. I'm not sure what he's trying to do here.
They have the
As
last pit box, the number 95
they
crew
go on the
change,
hards.
mediums to hards.
And I believe that's their first stint on the hards, right? As others will try to get rid of the hards in about, I guess, 7 laps. Michaels decides now's the time to do the opposite and go on the hards now. Let's see here if he can get some slipstream. Help him out here. He needs to race with the pack. However, I believe this is a good move, actually. He's rejoining right behind this train of P2 cars. He is a lap down, but he's using the slipstream now of cars which have had very worn hard tires, and Smikos has pretty clean hard tires.
We are starting to see that point where the field is spread out enough that certain pit stops will put you off the lead lap. While you can get that back as people further back on the lead lap or on wearing tires and have to pit. But also in some cases that can be bad, because I do believe we do have a blue flag yielding rule in this league. It's not quite as harsh or demanding as it is in the road course standard FRL league, but it is still there. Now the entire field is on the hard tire. Every single driver is currently on the white-walled Formula ROBLOX branded tire.
It's the blue flags are really mainly for the last couple of laps, as we don't want the leaders to have their races decided by a lap car being in the way. But at the moment, I believe everyone it's a free-for-all, as they would say, because Michaels is clearly the faster car. He just had a green sector and a wall of red sectors, so let's see. Maybe he can get a fastest lap attempt here. He does have the slipstream to do it, but I don't think he has the grip, and he doesn't. He stays put in his lap times, but I would assume he's improved somewhat. As going to Chris now taking the lead. This is now a battle for the lead this pack, with one lap car disrupting the fray. As
if he has the grip, he is allowed. He is allowed to unlap himself if he has superior.
Yeah, and clearly he does, because he is cutting through the field at the moment. But only the slipstream can stop him. This is good for Smikos, because Gio is actually overtaken Smikos. So now I believe Smikos messed up somewhere in his pits, but he's finally back with a dancing partner, you could say, and they can finally pull away from this pack which is behind them.
Lepre is also trying to unlap himself in the 73. He's also with this pack. Yeah, there's 2 lapped cars currently trying to get on that lead lap. The other 2 lapped cars are a little too far back to pull it off, but it's definitely still possible.
16 Rise, first to pit and the only one to pit from that 2-stop train. Let's see what tire he goes on. This is an indicator for the rest of the field to what tire they should go on, although the softs and mediums don't really have that much of a difference. He goes on the medium tires, so I believe everyone will go on that.
This is their second stop. I believe they started on the soft tire. They ran the hard, now they're on the medium, so I think they owe the field one more soft tire stint.
And the pit window is pretty much open for these hard tires, as you can see with 16 Rice. Not a lot of drivers pursuing him in the pits just yet, but I believe everyone will do so. The fictional or invisible pit crews are about to get ready for what is about to be now an important stint of the race. We are almost halfway there. But the main key is now that the hard tires for a lot of these drivers are gone. That mandatory pit stop for hard tires is now gone. Maybe they can use the mediums till the end, which I believe is the best way to do so. Or someone can use the soft tires to their advantage and run that.
Has been probably the favorite tire to use on the race is the medium tire. So I imagine once the requirements are all fulfilled, we're going to see everybody on the medium tire. There's always someone who likes to gamble on a hard tire a long way to the end. Perhaps if they're a long way down, they just want to see if they just get track position no matter what it costs. And also there always seems to be a driver who likes to gamble on the soft tire near the end, try to just make up as much ground as possible. It's definitely a heroic strategy, and every driver wants to pull it off at least once, but when it goes wrong, it goes very wrong, and you're at the back of the pack with a tire that is coming to absolute bits. But currently, everyone's on the hard tire of various ages, excluding the 8th place running 16 Rise. in the number 11 car, who is just pitted for the medium tire and is trying to get back up to the front pack.
Let's go on board with Smykos. At the moment, running P11, but soon will inherit the lead, I would assume. Following Geo Magnum. You can see his stance right there. Quite the feral driver. Only P3 though, but it was this season.
Lepre has just unlapped himself on Going Me Chris 2. Going Me Chris 2 is trying to get it back. I'm not sure he quite has the grip to do it. These cars being on different laps means we don't really have the leader gap to show you. Yeah, Going Me Chris puts him right back a lap down, but Lepre does have the grip to get it back. So we are seeing a battle going on here. If he has the grip to get in front, he's not obligated to. They are part of sister racing firms, Funny Group Racing, Scuderia Gruppo Indipendente, so I'm not sure if we're going to see any kind of team strategy. We see the two Lozato's car, the 69 and the 30, come into the pits. It's hard tire for the 69 of XR3. Tax comes in, swaps onto the soft tire. Then we have Lamborghini, aka Stanba, on the hard tire for Stella Corsa, the number 59 black and cyan car. Comes in, hits his marks perfectly, also onto the soft tire. So we are seeing another flurry of pit stops happen right now. Gio and Smykos currently lead the fourth stoppers. Going Me Chris is out in front, leading the two stoppers. And Hyperboss in fourth leads the people who have stopped thrice. Man Pivoting, as has been common in this race, is staying out long, trying to eke out as much of the stint on this hard tire. We're reaching just about half distance. In fact, we might have passed. Yes, we've already passed half distance in this race. Officially, half distance would be 62.5 laps. So all the strategies kind of all muddled up in a way, but we're not really sure who's actually in control of this race right now. I don't even think the drivers know. It's all a gamble on tire strategy to get out in front. Going Me Chris currently leads on track. And has had to release Lepre 28. They were fighting. Lepre was going a lap down, but Lepre had the grip and has now unlapped themselves. 6th G, as we're taking to calling him, in the number 88, is the current leading driver on the second lap down. Lamborghini, aka Stenba, among Associate Imposter 2 and Reduct that are the other drivers who are currently off the lead lap. But remember, with this many retirements, there are still points to play for. Points down to 13th in this championship. Going Me Chris pits from the lead. Codes Bacons follows in suit. The 82 crew comes in to receive them. It's the hard tire to the soft tire they're changing. It's Code Bacons will follow suit. They're side by side now. But he has yet to hit his stops. Great stop, right on his marks. The pit crew, he's changed back onto the hard tire. Interesting. Coach Bacons, who maligned the hard tire at the beginning of the season, has just made a switch from the hard to another set of hards. So we'll see what his plans are. He has stopped. This is his third stop. So with that math, I do believe, yes, he still has at least one soft or one medium tire stint remaining if he went on to the hard tire. To the hard tire, because he's either on two softs or a soft and a medium. So he still owes the field a mandatory stop. I'm running under the assumption that all the drivers are currently aware of this, as there might be some disqualifications following the conclusion of this race. Man Pivoting then, once again, staying out, running long, trying some kind of overcut strategy, trying something different on the number 7 crew. And currently takes us on to the 69th lap. The 69th numbered car, XR3, is running 4th and leading for the Lozato's team, who is seeking possibly a best ever results in this championship. They're fighting side by side with Going Me Chris 2, who's on the soft tire. It's going to be tricky to keep him at bay in the 82 Funny Group Racing car. They both run low. The Lozato's tries to run slightly higher. Perhaps that's the tire grip. Nothing you can do tire advantage. The Lozato's team definitely one that was on the up and up rise at the end of last season. Man Pivoting, the number 7 arcade racing by GTG car, sponsored by Spacebugs, comes into pit lane, looks for his marks. He's on the hard tire now. He started on the medium, then ran the soft, and then ran the hard, I believe. And now is back on the soft. So this will be his last mandatory stop. We'll see where he comes out relative to the rest of the field. Longest Sussy Imposter 2 changes on the soft tire, comes out in last place. Men Pifting is still leading pit lane, running low below the white line. Cuts on the grass as the drivers often do, and comes out in 9th place with a big gap of 6 seconds behind and a gap of 2 seconds to Smykos ahead to get back up to the field. But on that soft tire, I think it will be possible. Hyperboss out in front, the pole sitter, 4 seconds clear of 16 Rise in the 18 Funny Group Racing car. We look at the intervals, and the main battle out on track is Geo and Tax are closest. They're the highest up drivers that have less than a second between them. Smykos and Man Pifting are also getting close. Man Pifting chasing down Smykos. Superior tire grip, runs low, gets the position from Smykos, rises up to 8th place, and will now try to catch up to Geo and Tax up ahead. About 1 second to do it, but that soft tire in its infancy has monster grip. Tax has gotten past Geo in the number 30 Lozado's car. Geo looks like he's going to try to be fighting back, running low, hunting that slipstream. Does he look ahead, try to fight Tax, or does he try to defend from Man Pifting? He's caught between a sandwich of cars who are hungering for the win here today. Man Pifting does the slide job on Geo, gets right past on that soft tire, trying to make hay while the sun shines. Is now up to 7th place in the car number 7, and now attacks Tax down low into that first corner. Gets the slipstream, magnetizes to the back of the car, and he's through up to 6th place now with 2 seconds ahead to get to Code Bacons, leaving Tax and Geo to continue their fight unless they can fight back. We have 6th G for 88 Manti Hendrick Motorsport and the homage to the iconic Walter Disney film. Coming into pit lane, they are on the hard tire with the flashy yellow wheel rims on that car. Hits their marks in the 88, which says 86 on the nose, switches to the soft tire, and they will come out. I believe they have a big enough gap to last place. They won't come out last. Smykos now pits hards to the mediums, meaning they have done 5 stops. The first driver to do their 5th stop in this race, the number 95. They currently run down in 12th place. Geo pits as well, will also do the 5 stops. These two drivers on relatively synchronized strategies. Smykos went from the hard to the medium. Let's see what Geo does. Comes down to the pit stall. Now, a little bit long in their box, but they made up for it on the brakes, and they are onto the medium tire as well. So these two drivers continue to be perfectly in sync with their strategy. Definitely today.
Gio comes out the stop, and we will go on the second commercial break of the race. So we will be back after just a bit, folks. Be patient.
This season, Man Pipton knows that nothing is more painful than losing. Not being able to lead the last lap at Indianapolis despite leading the majority of the last stint. Not being able to find alternative accounts in FRL despite doxing people and using Discord bots. Losing is more painful than obsessing over a LEGO racing game and then DNFing from 14th on soft tires. Man Pifting knows that if losing didn't hurt so much, winning wouldn't feel so good.
Amazon sucks.
Bacons is good footballs.
We're back. Welcome back to our coverage of the Nagoya 125, only on the Formula ROBLOX League channel. While we were gone, we had Tax pitting onto the hard tire for their fourth stop. Also for their fourth stop, 16 rides went from mediums to mediums, and their teammate Lamborghini and Estanba went from softs to mediums. We have two Funny Group racing cars in, running quite close to each other. Hyperboss, our pole sitter, has pitted onto the medium tire, and Gio comes out, or going to be Chris, I believe, rather, 2G names, comes out also on the medium tire. Sussy Imposter comes in the number 5 car, switches from softs to mediums. It's XR3 out in front. I'll need to double check, but I believe that is the first time Lazados has led the Nagoya 125 in their history as a team and the history of this race. They're currently running the hard tire on their, having done 3 stops, and about 2.6 seconds clear of the next car back, which is Codes Bacon's. Man Pifting, it looks like he's trying to make a move on Code Bacon's, perhaps the other way around. The two drivers are battling. Man Pifting, those soft tires probably have run out of talent after that amazing first stint coming to the field, is now fighting for his life just a bit on those tires. Judging by the way he's running a rather high line, instead of going away from that apron. Yes, Codes Bacon is pulling away.
Leopard pits as he is also lapped out, but that's his 4th stop. He's on the medium tires now. He will join his fellow medium runners very soon as Bad Duck that also pits from 14th place already, so I'm not really sure how his race will go as Man Pifting, the only driver off from about that lead pack, also comes into the pits now, getting rid of those soft tires. Probably will go back on the mediums, unless he wants to go from hards to the end of the race.
Medium tires. Both arcade racing drivers currently running the mediums. Baduck on track ahead of Man Pifting, but of course is a lap down and running in 15th. We'll see where Man Pifting comes out, which might have huge implications to the final result of this race. They have gotten back up to full speed. No need to warm up tires in this sport. Once you release from the pit lane, you're absolutely on full throttle on the new tires, and they come out ahead of Smykos in 8th place, and will start trying to make their way through the field, hopefully to fight for that win. Qualified 4th started, 2nd place on the front row due to absences and reserves. XR3 still the driver out in front. Code Bacon's is catching him since we last checked in on the leading pack. Code Bacon's has cut a 2nd off XR3's lead in the number 69. Codes Bacon's attributing another great character from a motion picture, living it himself, running around a grand oval. We ride with the number 44/43, thanks to Dynaco.
And well, Richard Petty has an own nickname, the King. Bacon's has another nickname for himself. It's God Bacon's, coined in season 4. So it's a really parallels to their nicknames. Very fitting for him to run that 43 car.
If we keep this up, he's going to end up being the Bacon King. Let's see if he can bring home the bacon today.
he had done so about 6 months ago for this 7th Nagoya race. I think he's going to do it again almost if XR doesn't budge.
There has only been one repeat winner of this race, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So
Carson the Killer
today to be the first repeat winner.
So Carson the Killer, actually, fun fact. Now in the second running of the Nagoya race, Carson actually finished second. He crossed second in that race. However, later it was revealed that the so-and-so winner for that second Nagoya race was Dino Monkey, and he had cheated in that fun race for ROBLOX. So eventually word got out and we were able to dispatch away the cheater. So Carson technically has crossed this race in first only one time. So somewhat still we are yet to have a true repeat.
If you want to follow up on the races that are broadcast here on the Formula Rocks League Discord, or perhaps if you want to get involved in the league yourself, whether the off-season Oval League that has been debuting this season, or the full-time league with multiple divisions for multiple skill levels, join the Formula Roblox League Discord, the official FRL Discord, for more information on how to follow up on races with after-race results such as that, and also possibly get involved yourself.
And as of the moment, we are 35 laps in this race. Final stints are going to come soon. I think Sixta might just go on it right now. Dispatches the soft tires finally in this race. As at the moment, Bacons and XR have been running those hards for a long time. They're still out there running laps, about 10 seconds ahead of anyone else. XR and Bacons, I believe they will pair at the same time as to run a good strategy in this race.
Bacons has cleared XR3 and is slowly building a gap to him. It was as high as 0.3 of a second on that back straight. It looks like he does have the superior grip of that pair.
And now, still not. Oh, I think we have a DNF. Smikos is falling down the field. He's DNF from the race. He's out of this race.
The championship contender is out of this race.
He hit the pit wall. Unbelievable. I think. Oh my god. A very unfortunate incident for Smikos. That 95 machine has hit the wall, careened it right head on, and he will be out of this race as his fellow strategist or strategy follower Geo Pitts. He is now left alone in this race. That is crucial for Geo and Smikos. Smikos especially.
Geo now on the 6th stop. Chances are Smikos would have joined him as part of the crew to absolute max out on pit stops. The door creaks and the bell tolls for the number 95, which means there's only one non-point paying position left in this race. Geo comes out on track, just ahead of one of his teammates. I can't quite identify who that is, and on merit ahead of the sister car of Lepery 28. Heartbreak for the Manti Hendricks team and their owner and Oval Star driver. He is out of this race, making 3 retirements.
And quick recap of this race for those 3 DNFs. Charles Leclerc best very early on, straight up gave up. There's nothing really much to say about it. He drove backwards for a bit. And Noi secretly, silently went out of the race, and Smikos had a very public falling out, as we just had seen. As lap number 95 approaches, car number 95 is missing the race. As XR pits.
Leclerc best, I believe he missed the start, so the start went on without him. He was 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, that as well.
He was attempting to give a slipstream to the sister team car of Geo. Both those teams part of the Funny Group Racing stable, and I think something might have gone wrong in his attempts to slow himself down. I think he did it too much, and he found himself nose first into the wall and rolling backwards down the track. And what happens next, I'm not sure. He kind of started driving around. Unfortunate for him, because he has some good oval results in the past, but hasn't really been able to capitalize on them. XR3 came in for their 4th stop. They are now on the medium tire and are now in 7th place, still holding the fastest lap of this race, which they got quite a long time ago. Nobody's been able to usurp that.
And now Bacon's still yet to pit. He just missed pit entry now, so I believe he is going on a bit of a rogue stint as 16 Rise and Lambo pit on the same time. A lap car that Lambo is actually Stenba is his nickname. So 16 Rise comes with him. As at the moment Bacon's is leading, but XR, the guy he was running with, is left almost alone on the track. He has no slipstream, I believe. Yeah, he's running alone out there. So Bacon's is leaving him for dry as he slipstreams off Gio.
Gio is trying to unlap himself off the current race leader, Code Bacon's, and in fact does so. So he gets off one
Gio
lap down and
has
on the lead lap again.
had the most stops so far this race, 6 stops. Everyone is still yet to even do their 4th, as such as Bacon's. But he will soon dispatch of those hard tires. I believe he will pit very soon. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. And I think he might go on the medium tires like XR did. I believe XR might be going for a solid 5 stop here, with the soft tires used later on as the last stint of the race. Bacon's, I would say, mediums to the end for now.
That would be wise. We estimated about 20 laps the mediums can do, and there are 25 and a half laps left in this Nagoya 125, which I must say, as my first time commentating this race, it has been an absolute thriller and a strategy game of 4D chess, it seems, if I may use such a nerdy disposition reference.
I just saw Bad Doug that follow a lot through the standings, probably about 2 positions. Not sure what happened there, maybe a bit of a lag spike, but yeah, not a good day for that outfit today, although his teammate is running 4th. As I believe finally some calm stuff in this race. The hard tire pack racing is over as Bacon's now pissed. Let's see what tire he goes on. I believe he'll go on the mediums, as he should. That 4-stop race from Bacon's, the least amount of pit stops you can
they're a bit long in their box.
possibly do.
Just a little bit long in their box. They do switch on to mediums.
And he goes on the mediums as I expected. Let's see if he can hang on to those tires. It'll be just a bit outside the mediums' capability of tire life, but he can certainly make it to the end now. You can see the strategy variance in this race. Gio's on a 6-stop, and Bacon's has just done his 4th. So everyone has their own spin on the strategy, and it always has been like this. And especially ever since we switched to the daytime running, or at least without rain, it's been like this, and it's very fun to see.
Also, the best we have the most stops kind of in the middle of the field, and the least stops. Pretty much everyone's done 4 stops, with the least stops at the front and the back of the field. So almost like an old distribution curve. As Going Me Chris 2 comes into the pits along with some cars that are a lap down. I'll follow Going Me Chris 2 in the 82. Good stops on their marks. It's mediums on to more mediums as they endeavor to make up ground in this race. Lots of points for the podium positions, especially for drivers who aren't in that championship fight. It's very tight, the point standings right now, so there is a lot of gain to be made up in this race with a strong result.
And
Certainly.
Cax will also pit, finally getting rid of those hard tires.
Onto the medium tire as well, so it looks like we are going to see a lot of the hard runners go away. 6G did it not too long ago, and they are now on the hard tire, so they might be trying to run that hard tire to the very end.
Hyperboss also goes in the mediums. He will overcut Bacon's. I believe Bacon's will fly past him pit road at the moment. Hyperboss nowhere near to compete, but he has all the time in the world to catch up right back up there. 16 Rise and this Lamborghini, Estenba, sorry, is giving Bacon some help.
The two arcade racing cars are coming into the pits line astern, though on different laps.
Slippery, yep, Bandit that also pits. Finally, this is the first time we're seeing teammates pit together since, I would say, the Funny Group Racing cars about 4 stops ago. So, finally, we have actual team play coming in. As Van Pifting also comes in with his fellow teammates.
This is a crucial stop for the ultimate result of this race. Championship rival Hyperboss is currently running 5th place. We'll see where they come out relative to each other. Full speed out of the pit lane. It is quite narrow, but you do have an almost inside line. It looks like it is about 10 seconds up the road to Hyperboss from Pifting 5th to 7th.
As
Who
XR,
the true leader of this race is, only time will tell.
XR currently the leader, but he will start. Less than 20 to go now in this race. It has certainly been a bit of an endurance, but we have come through after many, many stops and many, many hurdles. This race has now reached its boiling point. We are about to see the very best out of these drivers. 16 Rise comes into the pits. As I say that, he will probably take the medium tires. I'll be surprised if he takes softs to the end. I doubt 18 laps will be enough, and yes, he does go on the medium, so he's going to rejoin quite far back from Man Pifting as well. I think he might be in P8 when all things are said and done. Let's see as he comes out the pits. So this is a very interesting dogfight going on. XR was the first to bite on those mediums very, very long ago. I believe he will do about 25 or 30 laps on those tires.
Geo going for their 7th stop in this race. They will definitely get the award for most time spent on pit lane, and perhaps the final time in this race. The number 23 crew received their driver at his medium tires to the end for the final 11 laps, if I'm not mistaken, 16 laps rather, final 16 laps in this race onto the medium tire.
At least go softs, man. Try something new. Oh well, he's gonna rejoin Mountaineer Bacon's as a lap car.
Must be said,
yes, slipstream.
XR3 and Bacon's are they're not comfortably out in front by any stretch of the imagination, but they are doing quite well out in front. They are definitely controlling the pace. XR3 5 seconds up the road on those medium tires in the number 69. I'm not sure if they owe the field another stop.
At the moment, the Nagoya photo finish that we usually see around here, we saw it in the last running, a barn burner between 2 American drivers. It's called Bacon's and Slickville Byron. And some years ago now, for the 4th running of the Nagoya race, I had mentioned before, Hazard and Hyperboss tore this place down pretty much, separated by around a tenth and a half at the finish. That's really close after 125 laps here. And it was really impressive to see Hazard come out with the victory. I believe Hyper had a bit of a step down on that day, but at the moment he is in contention to win here. He is P3 at the moment with his fellow teammates. Let's see if he can run these hard tires toward these medium tires, towards Bacon's. As now we have 14 to go.
XR3 puts 6G a lap down, or another lap down. They're actually 2 laps down. The lead lap only goes back as far as 7th place as it stands now. So, having just recently stopped, Geo will be making efforts to undo this.
And another key thing, the gap you can see now between XR and Bacon is closing. So we might just get another photo finish here. XR had undercutted Bacon severely. Now he's paying the price for it. 4.4 as they cross the line for Bacon's. Geo, and I believe that's 6 Thug as the lap cars ahead of him trying to finish this race now. They're almost at it. Bacon's will try to catch up now. 4.3 is the gap. It's closing down quite fast here because XR is in clean air. He has no slipstream, no help. He's out there by himself, struggling on those very old medium tires.
Putting this into perspective, the iconic purple, I'll even say violet, Brazilian-run team Lizados has not won a race in any format in Formula ROBLOX League, in the off-season league or the main league. To my knowledge, they have not gotten a podium in the main FRL league. I'll have to check the over results. So that's what's at stake for this team right now. Currently staying out, trying to survive on those tires. Just make it to the end. That's what it would possibly mean for this team. And XR3, definitely a driver who knows how to perform in a Formula ROBLOX car. So thankfully, the odds are not completely stacked against him.
Bacons, let's go on board with the American driver. P2 at the moment. If we go from his onboard, we can see just how these drivers gain their time back. 3.2 at the moment, and Bacons, just compare from the hard onboard and the medium onboard, you can see how much grip these mediums have. You can see physically Bacons get on the throttle way earlier in the corner, as he just hit a bit of a bad bump there. Following six tug through this field.
We're right on board thanks to Dynaco, as XR3 pits, so he doesn't think he can make it to the end of this race. So it is Coach Bacon out in front, powered by Dynaco. Gets the slipstream on his teammate a few laps down and charges forward. So XR3 has effectively withdrawn from this leading race unless they can make an insane charge on this final stint. It is soft tires.
Soft tires.
Let's see what they can do.
I'd be surprised if he gains that much, considering it's about 20 seconds lost here. XR will come around. Let's see the gap, the interval to the leaders. Bacon's is, I believe, in turns, he's almost at the start-finish line. XR is going to be 20 seconds back. He has to gain 20 seconds in 8 laps. I believe he's just going to aim for a top 3 finish at least. As now, the top 3 are now in almost a very tight battle for the lead. Finally, we're going to see this race turn into a barn burner. Bacon's, Hyper, and Going Me Chris. It's Bacon's versus the Funny Group Racing Boys.
There has been a call from the communications. One of the team managers, Charlotte Claire Best, has told Hyperboss and Going Me Chris to stay in formation and that they are catching Code Bacons. And in fact, they are. Hyperboss was 2 seconds back a moment ago, is now 1.3 seconds back on that medium tire. So we're going to have a scorching race to the end of this one at the Nagoya 125 laps.
Let's see Hyper's on board. Just look how close it is on your screens, folks. Bacon is right there in his grasp. Hyper has had a runner-up so far in this race as his best finish. He can finally win Nagoya today. He has yet to win in actual FRL, but in FRLN there is no greater favorite than Hyper. And at the moment he's closing down very fast, under a second now against Bacons. This is looking like a fiery end to this race.
But he does have his teammate for company, and I'm sure he wants to win just as much. So it's not a two-team battle here. It is right now as they try to get close, but as soon as that checkered flag, as soon as that white flag gets close, suddenly teammates are not going to be team or mates as they reach the end of this race.
Yep, let's see Hyper now. Back again. On board with him. The gap has stagnated now a bit, but I believe he can get it back. Now it's just a matter of skill that ends this race. We have 5 to go nearing, and it looks like a really exciting finish. I must say, I'm impressed. After all those green flag stops, after all that spreading out of the field, we have come down to 2 drivers giving it their all, as well as Going Me Chris. Don't count him on just yet. I almost did right there, but yeah, I will mention him. He is also in this battle. 5 to go, as I mentioned.
They're using each other to get that slipstream to get out in front. But as we have seen in this sort of race before, getting to the front is one thing, but if the tire grip is not significantly different, you will find that the drivers will then be stuck together. We'll be in a pack. I think it's called pack racing. XR3, meanwhile, who pitted to the soft tire not long ago, is currently hounding Man Pifting for 4th place on those soft tires.
Now look at the gap for the leaders. Half a second between them. This is going to be a really close finish, folks. Hyperboss and going to be Chris. Oh, Hyperboss, a bit laggy there. Bit of a miss of the heartbeat as Hyperboss was stuck for a second. But let's see now, 2/10 the gap. Bacon is really struggling on those tires. He only has 4 lap older tires, but you can see how much it matters. There's going to be 3 to go at Nagoya this time by. Hyper and Going to be Chris are right there with him. Bacon's, he takes a bit of an inside sort of line there. Hyper and Going to be Chris sort of battling with each other at the moment. The top 3 in a bubble. Hyperboss gets the slip down the backstretch. Turns 3 and 4. All get a huge bump right there. Hyperboss takes the innermost line. He might take it. He might just take the lead here. It's going to be the penultimate time they cross the start-finish line at Nagoya. But Bacon's just about keeps it. I think Hyper made a mistake, or he just backed out of it. Turns 1 and 2 now. It looks real close.
We're coming up to the white flag now. In this case, it will probably be brought to you by Dynaco.
As the 2 Funny Group Racing cars almost leaving Bacon to the dust. Going to be Chris might just snooker away a victory here. He's barely led any laps today, but he might just come out on top. Hyper looking for a Grand Slam, but just doesn't have the fastest lap to him right now. The white flag comes out now. Bacon's and Hyper. He's trying to get away from Going to be Chris, Bacon's and Hyper. It's just a dogfight between these 3. And just like the Cars movie, we are going to see a 3-wide photo finish maybe. Going with Chris has backed down a lot. He might just try to get the slipstream down the max stretch. Hyper and Bacon's turns 3 and turn 4, they're neck and neck. Going with Chris is going to try to dive bomb them both. It's going to be real close. We might just see the closest finish in Nagoya history. Hyperboss and Bacon's. Bacon's hit the wall. Bacon's hit the wall. A photo finish between the 2 Funny Group Racing cars is going to be Hyper. Wins at Nagoya finally. Avenges his earlier 2nd place finish. And that, folks, was a wonderful finish for this epic race.
What
XR finishes P4.
Finale. Covering the top 3 finishers in this race.
Oh.
0.283 seconds. On average,
that must be. Oh my god.
3 seconds to blink. Less than a blink across the entire podium. And I don't know where to look.
Hyperboss just barely gets it. He started on pole. He wins from pole. Hyperboss, I believe, is the first driver to do so in that manner. It's a 1-2 for Funny Group Racing as Bacon's finishes P3, hit the wall at the very last time. He cannot avenge or at least defend his crown. XR finishes P4, gets a wonderful gain on the soft tires at the end right there. Beats Man Pifting by 3 seconds, who finishes in P5. P6 is 16 Rise, P7 is Tax, P8 Geo, the last Funny Group Racing car, but he still manages to at least get points today. P9 is Sussy Imposter, P10 is Lepri, P11 for Estenba, and now we have the car which were multiple laps down, 6 Tug, Amogus, and Bad Duck. That 3 DNFs today, very crucial. Smykos, the championship battler, as well as a couple others. So, yes, he just played the championship, I believe. He must have, because all his competitors have bit the dust. Man Pifting at least finishes P5. I'm not sure if he just clinches it, but yeah, he is the world champion of Hyperboss. It's just been confirmed in. The points are in as Hyperboss not only seals a very long-awaited victory at Nagoya, he also seals the first ever FRL NASCAR division title.
Some may be doing. Some may do it longer.
Really good
some
racing,
may
folks.
do it better. Some may do it longer, and some may do it.
Let's
better, but
maybe
only one
get
can do it
Hyper
for
to
the
get an
first time.
interview.
Only one can do it for the first time, and that is Hyperboss. Whew, I did take a breath. What a thriller!
The closest Nagoya finish in history as well. By about 700 it beat the previous record. It was 0.183 in 2022, but it is 0.113 in 2025.
That was incredible. I have to give some word to XR3, who definitely came back on that soft tire. He was leading, and some might say, why'd you pit in the lead if you were leading? I think that might have been the smart move. If you stay out on bad tires, once you start falling, you fall like a stone. So it was probably wise to pit and maximize the result. I think the result that he got would have been is better than if he hadn't have pitted. So definitely mature, wise strategy from XR3. And congratulations to Lozatos, who definitely found their stride in this Oval League with that driver.
As now, we will be closing off the broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am Tash the Mash, and
my name is Gus the Goose, and I'll see you again when Formula Roblox return. Goodbye.